Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
What episode is it?
I have no
Oh,
idea. Do you guys know what episode it is? We sort of lost track. We took a week off last week. We're just so overwhelmed with the growth that tropical Minnesota has, and we needed a break. So here we are back at the village as promised.
No rain. I did bring the umbrella because there is a front going through, which now feels good.
Yeah, the breeze feels nice. So we're back out at the village. Good morning, everybody. Is this episode 12?
We're gonna call it 12.
We're going to call it 12.
We're gonna call it 12.
Welcome to episode 12.
And then
Woohoo!
we'll talk about 13.
Oh, God.
All right. Okay.
So we're out at the village. The village is an awesome community effort, cooperative agricultural community learning center that represents 19 cultures in our community, right?
19 is what we mentioned.
Yes,
Yep.
we have gardeners here from Cambodia, Somalia. I'm going to miss some of them, and I'm sorry about. There's Senegalese folks here, Congolese, Nigerian,
Eastern Europeans,
Ukraine, and what we're going to be showing you is a lot of the different growing techniques that these growers use to supply food. Many of them grow on a community basis, in other words, just one crop that they'll share with others that are growing one crop. They have potlucks here. Coming up on the 18th is Farm Flavor Fest.
The 4 Fs.
The 4 Fs, Farm Flavor Fest. That'd be 3 times.
No, it's fall. No, it's fall.
Did you take math?
No, it's Fall Flavor Fest.
Fall
Flavor. Anyway, it's the 4 Fs.
Yes, it's kind of like my Triple H, the mom's Triple H.
I was going to say it's kind of like my grade school.
Yeah, right. Something.
No.
So yeah, on the 18th is the Fall Farm Flavor Fest,
and
we've got live music out here. We're going to taste some really awesome foodstuffs. Kim Sin, who originated this, the Diversity Council got on board. We've got Olmsted County Public Health. I helped to bring about this. We've got so many partners here listed on the sheet, but this is the big year. This will be the 3rd year for Farm Flavor Fest. Fall Farm Flavor Fest. That's a tongue twister.
I know. Yeah,
and they're just really growing and doing a lot of good with the community. They've added numerous sites, and here we go. Let's walk through the garden.
Let's walk through the garden, and I'm going to kind of follow Kelly here. So.
Okay, we going up that way or this way?
Let's go this way. I think this way is a better way.
So.
Okay.
So they've got some really nice perennials and pollinators here up front, but they've also added some edibles. So, because edible plants obviously do a lot for pollinators, right?
Yes, they do.
Some of our biggest crops are insect pollinated. The Cucurbitaceae family, which is the cucumbers, the melons, the squashes, they all need insects to pollinate them because their plants are what, Tom? Blossoms?
The blossoms are...
Dioecious.
Dioecious, yeah. They have male and female parts.
You got it. Male and female parts, yeah. So take a look at this garden here. They've harvested their beans, and they didn't do it the slow way by just picking off the beans. They just cut everything off for ease.
Yep.
And the plants are going to regenerate, and hopefully if we have a long enough summer, they may possibly produce some more beans.
But they will not come back next year, right?
No,
That's
right.
pretty much it for the year.
They're an annual. Whereas this gardener is just doing
Yes.
an en masse planting of pole beans, and they're just twining all over each other. So we've got very different growing techniques as we go from plot to plot here at the village. This is using corn as a barrier, as sort of
Corn,
a
yes.
walkway inside.
Kind of interesting, yep.
Yep, and if you notice,
We're going to look at some other borders and barriers around.
yes, and let's notice this plant here. This is Cleome. We in the West know Cleome as an annual, as an ornamental, and it was grown a lot back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. It was kind of a go-to plant, spider flower, sort of like now we think of those wave petunias. They're sort of a go-to for our containers. So Cleome is edible, and they use it as an edible here, and many of the gardeners who grow this plant, they save the seed. And
interesting.
These cultures understand the power of saving seed. This is, touch this, but be careful of the edges, it's sharp, and then smell your hand. What is this? Can you smell it? You might have to get down in there.
Smells like lemon.
It's lemongrass.
Lemongrass. Oh,
Thrives
okay.
in the summertime because we've got the high heat and high humidity requirements of this. I remembered when I lived on the island of Dominica, and the folks would be cutting it with their machetes as we go up and down, and this lemon smell would just like proliferate through the air. It's incredible. So this is lemongrass, and here's a deal for you. We started having lemongrass seeds at the seed library, and we couldn't figure out why they weren't going. Duh. If you save that basil root plate of the lemongrass that you purchase at any of the Asian stores, it just automatically regrows.
So it is a perennial?
Yeah, kind of.
Sort of. Okay.
It's a perennial grass.
Even here? Okay.
No, not here.
Not here. Okay.
It's too cold. So the roots of these, you can just save them in a pot over the winter, and then you bring them back and put them out.
And I notice we have a border of silver grass out there, which
Miscanthus,
yeah, which is kind of a Northeast Asian kind of a native plant. So
it's pretty, isn't it?
yeah, it's pretty, and they put that along the border of this garden here. So
they use a lot of natural.
Here's some cosmos over here, and some.
Pretty.
Yep, a lot of border plants. Okay.
Oh, that's an interesting vegetable. Oh, look at the long beans there.
Get
We're
some
not
long beans.
even hardly into this garden. We got to hurry up.
We got to get going.
Otherwise, people are just gonna like these people are taking too long to do this video.
I like the okra back there. I mean, that's kind
the
of.
okra's lovely. So did you know that okra, the leaves are edible and the flowers are edible on that plant? It's not just those cool seed pods.
Oh, okay. Because I love okra.
This is something called huckleberry, not to be confused with the Huckleberry vaccinium genus that grows in Montana.
And it's been trimmed down too.
Yeah, because they've harvested it and then they're regenerating it. But they call it huckleberry, but it's not like I said, it's not vaccinium, a typical blueberry genus. Yep. So, yeah.
You see a lot of zinnias going here. Beautiful plant, and marigolds. Yep.
This is an American gardener.
It's an American gardener there. Okay. Got some squash, got corn. We're moving quickly.
We're moving quickly. We're going fast.
Yeah, there's a lot of gardens.
Here you can see natural materials used with high input materials from lumber industry, but they use what they have, which is really awesome.
Yes.
It's great. It's a really great way to get stuff. And there's all kinds of things in the woods there to use, so why not?
Being very creative here as far as instead of buying a bunch of stakes, but they get the stakes that they get this all raised.
Much like our larger cities in our country have developed, where we have cultures congregating together for familiarity, language purposes, just maintaining cultural influences and having what they need. We have a large group of Eastern European gardeners here. They garden in a very European style, as you can see. They've got borders and boxes. They've put down pathways through. They incorporate a lot of flowers throughout what they're doing.
Yeah, I told Kelly before we started walking around, I really love this garden because I just love the pollinator or flower border around here. I mean, look at, you got, all kinds of things in here.
Consequently, these gardeners have been here the longest, and they've erected permanent structures. And in the beginning, when the village first came out here, these were the gardens that were most complained about by adjacent community members and also congregation members. They didn't understand the purpose of and the need for erecting permanent structures within a garden space. So these folks have now been maybe elevated to a position of understanding why they're doing what they're doing, and the neighbors in the congregation have welcomed the efforts because there's a greater understanding. So the village has really helped to educate folks around about the need for this and why things look the way they do. So these, I believe they're Ukrainian. These gardeners are doing some really neat stuff here as well.
We got some phlox, we got some, looks like some asters coming up here. Even got a tree.
Nice spruce tree.
Amaranth.
Beautiful salvia here too that I haven't been
look at
able
that.
to identify.
Salvia. Some Monarda here.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
It's really nice.
More phlox, but and it's kind of, look at this kind of interesting little walkway down through here.
Should we cut through here? This one?
I think we.
Let's go past these sunflowers first.
Oh yeah, because we have a sign here.
Oh, yeah, we have a sign here.
What's this, Kelly? You're the expert.
These are our new signs, everybody, that we've got for occultation and solarization. I pulled this data off of one of Natalie Hoytel's articles on how to use the sun's energy to kill weeds. So this is a bed of occultation. This gardener has put cardboard down, a bunch of coffee grounds from our coffee house composting, and mulch, and she's readying this bed for spring. The top layer was straw, and you can see the oats
The
germinating from the oat straw. So she's got a nice cover crop coming in, which is helping to increase the fungal area in the soil, cut down on the bacterial components.
And promote microbes and stuff like that.
Microbes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. All right. So we've got some more squash, another nicely laid out garden here. Some nice sunflowers. Artichokes? Oh, yeah.
The artichokes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love artichokes too.
Beautiful Hopi red dye amaranth. The
Okay.
sunflowers are lovely.
Sunflowers are beautiful on a day here. They're looking for the sun.
Yep.
Okay.
Here's more of this clayome. The spider
Do we
flower.
want-
See these seed pods coming here? They're ripening and they'll be all dry and the seeds will burst.
Do you
Can
wanna
we
cut
get
this?
through there?
Let's go this way. Let's
All
see
right,
if we
let's
can
go this
sneak
way.
through this way. But you might have to duck the wires. And there's the Covenant Church in the background there.
Beautiful earth firm church.
And it's just wonderful that they provide this land for this wonderful garden
So
here.
this started as a Channel 1 garden, and Channel 1 could no longer handle managing this space, so they talked to the Covenant Church, and then we reached out to the Covenant Church summer of 2020. Yeah, spring of 2020 actually. So the village moved in here last year. So this is another Eastern Bloc, Eastern European garden, different gardening style.
Yep, different garden
They do a lot
styles.
of water collection. These folks do a lot of water collection.
Just to get it right from the sky and not
Yep.
depend on a
Look at how tall
water
this
source.
corn is.
Man, that's tall.
There is
Sheesh.
some really interesting
Yeah,
corn out here.
I'm
too.
6
There's a-
feet, so that's probably about 12.
Yeah, that looks like it could be 12.
It's amazing.
So the Asian corn is very starchy.
Good one.
It's got a high carbohydrate level.
Yep.
And here's something else that's really cool about this community is they're offering classes. Chris Allen is a local beater, a local artist that does beading, and she's offering these beautiful classes on rock beading. And you can join in from September 1st, December 18th, from 4 p.m. to dusk in the little community area up here, which is just pretty neat. Thank you, Chris Allen, and I believe this is possible through a Southeast Minnesota Arts Grant.
Yes.
So able to do
Yep.
that. So
Arts
yeah.
Council, yep.
Let's cruise this way if we can, yeah.
Okay.
So you can see the remnants of the hills. The corn has already been cut down. They grew the corn in hills, and the corn's already done.
And we got some more of your.
These plots are, boy, I wish Amanda was here, Kim was here.
Yep.
Plots are, I think, 40 by 40, 20 by 40, 30 by 40, something like that. And they're free. These are free, folks. These are free gardens. This is land access for people who need land access to be able to utilize their skill set from the agrarian communities that they came from. This is food justice. This is food security. And we need more of this.
Looks like we have Susan joining us. Hey, Susan. Susan Bjornson, yeah.
Where?
She's online.
Oh, she's online. Oh, good. Yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
Susan.
Go this way. Hi, Susan. We're getting lost here. It's like we're going.
And speaking of Susan, maybe we should mention what Susan's been leading for us.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
Susan, why don't you, we're going to just kind of segue here a little bit. You know, this is one of our partners in community gardens, but Sue's been our lead on another partnership that we have.
Oh, at Pharmacy RX with Revolutionary Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, they are also working on food security. What are you trying to do?
I
there?
can't
You
get us
me.
to
I
get
don't
it.
have to be in the
I
camera.
know.
That's okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll just stand really still.
Okay.
And then if you... So yeah, Revolutionary Earth is also working on increasing food security. They have a different model. They also, like here, want to usurp lawn to grow food,
Yep.
but they deliver to folks that are really low income and low access. So they have their own free CSA program, and the delivery model is much like Meals on Wheels. So it's all volunteer based. They have land stewards, and one of the gardens that we're partnered with is the Pharmacy RX through Lotus Health Foundation at the Rochester Clinic up in Northeast Rochester. And we should do a video there as well.
We need to do a video there, and of course we've been to the Smart Garden, and they're there as well as one of the partners.
Yep.
of
They're
Smart Gardens.
working with the raised beds there and utilizing the hoop house. Hopefully that hoop house is going to be able to be utilized for using all of the space to grow veg for
Yeah.
many of the community gardeners.
We've got
this
our
next
eye
year.
on that property. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a nice thing.
So
okay,
let's cruise through
let's
here
cruise
because
through.
we've got some signage here.
Yes. Oh, look at that! Part of our signs that we created here for some of the multicultural gardens in our community.
Yep, so they've been pruning trees here, so you've got stakes that you can pull from. So this is a location to get stakes if you need stakes. You've got sheds where the tools are kept.
And this is very important now to just, we're trying to do a lot more to make sure we have tools on site for a variety of reasons, but just to make sure that what's here stays here and doesn't get carried to other gardens, so to speak. Okay,
So
Kelly.
This garden's got a chop and drop going. They're leaving all the material on the surface so that it can decompose and it'll be tilled in, which is really great.
Yep.
Increasing the soil biology, adding organic matter to the soil, which is awesome.
That's really something everybody's learning a little bit more
and
about.
I love the canna lilies there. They're nice.
Yes,
So
beautiful.
I believe this is a section of African gardeners. I don't remember which country, but we've got amaranth here.
Yep.
It's used for seed.
And we got some
this
more.
looks like a plot that's not being used, actually.
And we got some more clayome.
More of this clayome.
More clayome, a lot of clayome.
Yeah.
So, all right. So,
Let's
can we
cruise
cut through
down
here?
Through here.
Yes, a bit. Oops.
Oh, are you all right?
All right.
Okay, good.
It's hard to walk with a camera. Okay. Almost fell into the ditch there. Almost became part of the garden.
Oh, look at this. This is an old used piece of steel fencing. or
Fencing that got
something.
set up.
This is from a bed. This is
Oh,
from
this
a
is-
bed. This is great. So they're using it maybe as a shade or as a brace for growing vines, and then the fruits will hang down underneath. So the creativity that's out here is phenomenal. And I think we've said in a previous video, Tom, you don't need to buy into the advertising
Yep.
and the propaganda of buying all this new stuff.
You mean like tools? Yeah.
Not minion power.
What I like about this is it gives me another perspective of a garden bed.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. No pun intended, right?
No pun intended. Oh, okay, now I gotta watch. Yeah, watch the.
Yeah, watch this. So here, ooh, I think this, I don't know, is this Oppo?
Oh my gosh,
No,
is
it
that
doesn't
big?
look like Oppo. Oppo isn't striped like this. I don't know which.
But again, some
which
creative. We got
this
some
is.
bamboo in here. Look at that, it's bamboo structure with some wires set up. Beautiful flowers. Yep. So
Cucurbitaceae family again, melons. And here's a little one.
little one. Yep.
Yep.
And we got some more composting. There's a lot of compost in the site, and that's one thing we're working with them on a little bit, right, Kelly? Is to make sure for those that aren't familiar with composting, which not all cultures are, to make sure that they're doing it properly.
Yep. You got to have 30%, 60% green matter, 30% dry matter, the carbon that's gonna use the nitrogen
Yep.
to decompose, and then 10% moisture. So your compost should really be wet enough that if you grabbed a hunk of it, you could squeeze a drop of water out.
Yep.
And most people, you know, when I was out in Montana, my friends, I was helping them with their compost pile, and it's so dry out there. I said, you know, you guys got to keep this watered.
Keep it.
So
keep it
you've got
moist.
to, you've got to
Gotta
keep
it
your compost
moist
pile watered. And this year here in southeast Minnesota, all over Minnesota, we needed to do that with the drought.
until recently.
Yeah,
recently.
more
But yes,
recently,
I've been out here with some hop spent grains, and I've been out here with
So you-
coffee filters.
And I've got from
coffee.
our community coffee house composting, I've got 4 buckets from Fiddlehead Flats this morning, and they're going to get dumped here to help with all the dry matter that's with the
done,
corn
so-
stalk.
Okay, we got one more spot
Little
here.
raised bed,
Some more raised beds.
and we are coming up on the community area.
So this is the community area which we are helping out with. Sue Butler is our lead on this garden project. So what do we got here, Kelly? Yep. They've been doing a little bit of watering. So yes, we got some more of our signs here on these bins. I think they were going to use, but I think,
And this gardener here uses a trenching method.
morning.
He uses a trenching method
Yep.
for his
Yep.
gardening, so that the irrigation flows through a trench and the roots can receive the water that way instead of just kind of a flood irrigation or watering over the top.
So I think we're pretty much, got a good walk through here. Of course, it's kind of near the end of the season, so a lot of these, as you see, have been torn down or broken down for preparing it for the winter time.
Yep. So we've got Arabic, Khmer, or Khmer, Cambodian,
That's just English.
English.
What's going on?
And then this is, I believe this is Somali.
Somali. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So with
So this
that,
is it. What a beautiful space, huh? What an incredibly great gathering area. This is where the seed classes are done, the seed bead
Yep.
classes. We should actually do a seed class.
We should do a seed. We're gonna do
great.
it.
Yeah, let's face the sun.
We gotta do a little bit more. Sorry, Kelly. Kelly doesn't want to face the sun. Okay. All right.
Here we are.
So
we're gonna say goodbye.
One more plug. September 18th is the 4Fs.
Fall Farm Flavor Fest. What time is it? 1 to 4, 1 to 3. Go on the village.
Go on the villages.
Just Google the village, and it should pop up because they're huge. They're rocking Rochester with what they're doing with food justice, food insecurity abatement, just cultural diversity. They're awesome. Plant biodiversity. They got everything going on. Live music, food sampling. It should be awesome.
The villages, agricultural cooperative, and
learning community.
Yeah, so
Facebook
if you need to
page.
look it up. All right, with that, we'll see everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Rock
Bye-bye.
your week.